Justice League was in the theaters, they were going through a bunch of name changes, and they were saying it was up until, like maybe a year ago, it was called Justice League Part 1.
Right.
And their intention was to make a Part 2.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then I thought I read a story that they were saying, oh, we're not going to call it Part 1 until we know that Part... I mean, we're not going to call it Part 2 until we know that Part 1 is...
a 2-part story.
Well, yeah. So they were going to say that if Part 1 isn't successful, we're not going to have it be a Part 2.
Right. Okay.
And then... But then if you actually, like, look it up, it looks like it still has that Part 1.
I mean, like, I assume that Justice League will return. Even if it continues to not do well at the box office, I think that Warner Brothers has too much stake in this.
They already have, like, the Aquaman movie ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's all shot. They're just doing, like, post-production now, marketing, etc.
Yeah.
So that will still come out. After that, it'll be sketchy, because the Flash movie doesn't have a director. I don't know anything about the Cyborg movie.
Shazam is pretty much rolling.
Okay, so Shazam is probably about to shoot because they're still casting people.
Yeah, yeah.
Wonder Woman 2 is also probably set.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, November 1st, 2019.
That's when it's coming out? Okay. So that's like 3 movies that we know are coming out.
Mm-hmm.
Or like absolutely kind of thing.
But I mean, Cyborg and Flash, I'd say, are probably closest to the chopping block.
Yeah, and also...
As in, like, not being made?
Yeah.
Yeah, and as for, like, the Part 1, Part 2, they just didn't... The version of the movie that came out did not seem to be, like, any, like, thing missing. It's not like it was cliffhanged by any means.
So it didn't seem like it was going to be a Part 1.
I mean, they, of course, left it open to a sequel because that's what you do. Like, that's a no-brainer.
Also, so, do you think that with this end credit scene, will the next movie, is the villain going to be the Legion of Doom, or is it going to be Darkseid?
I think it's going to be the Legion of Doom.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that they're going to take, like, basically, part of me is all like, I don't want to just say that they're copying Marvel, but then they really do things to make it look like they are. So I think that they're going to do a down-to-earth movie before they go on to a cosmic movie. Because, like, it would be weird if they, like, were all like, oh, we've got this new Hall of Justice. Oh, never mind, we have a space adventure. We need the Watchtower up in space.
I think what they'll do is they'll probably connect the solo movies somehow to the Legion of Doom. Which, I mean, I could definitely see... Probably not with Wonder Woman, because that's taking place in the past still.
Oh, it is, really? I couldn't remember that.
It's taking place in the 80s to 90s, and it's like a Cold War thriller, so it's like Captain America the Winter Soldier.
Oh.
Just like Wonder Woman was like Captain America the First Avenger.
I'm disgusted. Why? Okay, she wasn't around for those 100 years.
No, we learned in Justice League that she was there.
Yeah,
she was
actually,
in the shadows.
I read an article about that, because people were, like, wondering about that. They were like, wait, I thought that she was, like, she completely, like, exiled herself, but now she isn't, and, like, basically she said, yeah, it's just a complete, like, retcon, like...
She's like Batman, but without the suit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, like, they said that, and then they decided that that's not the way that they wanted it to be, and, just, like, sometimes that's something you gotta deal with, like, she was very honest with the audience when they asked.
Okay.
Which was nice, it was...
So yeah, they probably won't do the Legion of Super villains then, or however they do it.
I mean, okay, wait, so...
But Aquaman they might, Cyborg they might.
Imagine for a second, though.
Flash they might.
Like, a very, very young cheetah.
Like, a
Wait,
baby
why?
cheetah?
No, I mean the super villainous.
Like, I know what you're talking about, but you keep saying, like, very, very young. Do you mean, like, late to mid-20s? Do you mean, like, teenager?
I mean...
Do you mean, like, a kid waddling around on cheetah legs?
Okay, maybe teenager, probably late, or mid-20s.
I mean, I guess you could, like, introduce her as, like, a carnival attraction or something, like a freak show or something, and then that would
push it,
probably.
Are you talking about that being in Wonder Woman 2?
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't understand how that would be, because wouldn't that make her not And like, if they were gonna have the Legion of Doom, isn't Cheetah part of the Legion of Doom?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you'd have to introduce her if you're tying it
That's why. Okay,
movies.
that's why I'm saying she'd be young in Wonder Woman 2, which is it takes place not in present day.
But it takes place in the Cold War. Wait, am I not right in saying that? Isn't that in the 60s?
It's from like right after World War II until the late 90s.
Okay.
It was like a 40 odd year period.
So are you saying that Wonder Woman is going to be like late Cold War?
Yeah, as per Jake, it sounded like it was going to be late Cold War.
Okay.
Yeah, it takes place in like the late 80s, early 90s.
Which
Okay.
I mean goes to combat Marvel's Captain Marvel, which
also takes place in the 90s,
Yeah.
but with the Skrulls, which I still don't like.
I'm on board. I don't know.
I would love to see how Nick Fury lost his eye.
They're focusing on such little minutia. It's killing me.
Okay, anyway, going back to that. Okay, so now I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, so I was just gonna say, there's a little bit of like foreshadowing in when they like came up with where they were gonna have like the like table and all that stuff, and 6 chairs, and then Wonder Woman was like, but with more for more people.
Yeah, that was cool.
And so I was
like that.
I was like, but what more people?
Everybody else.
I know. Like I want to know
like Green Lantern.
Yeah.
I mean, probably Green Lantern because we saw him earlier in the movie.
Well, no, we saw the Green Lantern Corps.
Or a Green Lantern member of the Corps.
Yeah.
I mean, probably assigned to Earth's sector.
I wonder.
Yeah, but I'm hyped for the like.
And Shazam, when his movie comes out, they got to put him in.
Yeah, I'm hyped for like all of the adding of characters.
Yeah,
it'll make for a weird dynamic though.
Yeah. Also, I think if we're going like speculation on the next movie, I feel like what they're going to do is they're gonna like further the Batman Wonder Woman relationship, kind of that's starting to bud. And then they're going to bring back Steve Trevor somehow.
Dang it.
That's going to be rough.
I was expecting him to come back by the end of the movie, though.
No, it would be too much to have 2 resurrections.
People are like starting to think that he might appear in Wonder Woman 2, but again, we don't know.
Okay.
We might see Steve Trevor in
the Wonder Woman TV show. Like the Linda Carter.
Stretching, okay.
It was like the first season.
I haven't seen.
That's what I'm talking about right now. That I'm explaining it. And the first season was based in World War I. The second season was World War II, and the third was the Cold War.
Really?
And so if I'm not mistaken, I think that each of season had like the father of Steve Trevor, and then Steve Trevor. And so I was like, huh. But then, like, he didn't have any children. So I would have, like...
Oh, you were thinking like a Peggy Carter thing?
Yeah.
Oh, that's still weird. I still don't like that.
Oh, so in, like, the Captain America movies, like, there's the military chick that he falls in love with.
Sure.
Peggy Carter. And then he, like, gets frozen, and then, like, Avengers time, and then he kind of, like, starts dating her niece.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, it's not like he had, like, children with her, and then it left. He didn't. Actually, that's a fun fact, is that people are pretty sure that by the time Captain America gets thawed, he's still a virgin.
I mean, that's maybe.
Probably.
Yeah.
So he's like the 40-year-old virgin, but like
no, he's 80 years old.
Okay.
And then he immediately goes back into crime fighting.
But does not get any waxes done, unlike the 40-year-old virgin, which is...
I mean, he's pretty hairless anyway.
Yeah. But anyway,
I don't know if that's like a
I'll
side effect of the
topic.
super soldier
Good
serum.
movie, actually.
Yeah.
I like 40-year-old virgin.
Anyway.
Never saw that movie.
So,
It's good.
Anyway,
got,
that's not relevant.
Yeah.
What's his face from The Office?
Steve Carell.
Yeah.
God, you really are bad with acronyms. What's his face?
Hey, but I know what he's from.
Oh, isn't the guy from Dodgeball in there too?
Will
Oh my
Ferrell?
gosh.
No, not Will
Vaughn.
Ferrell. Vaughn.
Oh,
Vince Vaughn.
Vince Vaughn.
Okay.
Okay.
Didn't you hear
Anyway,
that movie too?
probably. Guys.
Vince Vaughn, not in Justice League. Missed it there. Missed the golden opportunity.
Big Vince Vaughn in Justice League.
He should be Gorilla Grodd.
Oh,
DC
my.
is going to listen to this show and be like, huh, that's a great idea.
Vince Vaughn. Cast Vince Vaughn.
Okay. Guys,
Bring back.
I don't even remember where we were.
Bring back.
We were talking
Jim
about Wonder
Carrey
Woman.
as the Riddler.
No.
Yes, that's such a
I'm
good
pretty sure we were talking
representation.
about Wonder Woman, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're talking
And
about,
about,
like, the
Peggy
solo
Carter.
movies.
Peggy
Yes.
Carter. That's what it was.
Right.
New
Okay.
And so I was
theory.
saying that it might have been like that, but then Steve Trevor
Vince
didn't
Vaughn
know.
is
No,
actually
no.
a superhero in Dodgeball, and his
I think
superpower is being,
Justin.
is seeing
I'm gonna-
through blindfolds.
Justin is going to wind up missing in
Yep.
2 minutes.
This show's gone off the rails.
Yeah, completely off the rails.
Anyway.
I mean, granted, we mentioned like Justin's basically favorite movie.
Oh, that is
That's
true.
right.
Okay, I did not know that.
Yeah, I mean like
Dodgeball's a good movie.
it's that one.
Okay,
UHF.
Cody,
UHF.
you're contributing.
Yep, I really am. And
Anyway,
They're
Wonder
all
Woman.
sports films, aren't they?
yeah, they are.
UHF is not a sports film. That is.
It's like a
It's
hockey
about
film.
hockey.
No. That's MVP. That is most valuable primate, and that is completely different.
Oh yeah, that's Air Bud, but with hockey and a monkey.
Yeah. UHF has Weird Al Yankovic,
gosh.
and it's from the 80s.
Okay, but what's it about?
Oh, no, we don't need to say that.
He gets a UHF station, and
Which
he's
broadcasts?
all types of weird stuff. Weird Al stuff. I mean, you gotta watch the movie. It's
Oh, all
it's
right.
weird.
Anyway.
Again, off the rails.
Yeah, we're
Go and watch it.
Okay, so remind me again.
Weird Al's gonna get
Oh,
a bunch of royalties, and he's
so-
not gonna be able to understand what it is.
So the first end credit scene, right,
Mhm.
was Superman and Flash
Yes.
having a race.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Well,
again,
starting to have a race. We don't see what the
yeah.
Outcome is.
outcome is. Yeah.
But I'm like, can he fly as fast as Flash can run? Like, I can understand
It
that.
depends
maybe.
on like the age of the Flash, because again, like if you have who's the old guy? The old guy from the Golden
Jay
Age
Garrick?
Flash, Jay Garrick. He can only run in the comics at least
Metal.
the speed of
Dumb
sound.
hat.
The World War I helmet, yes.
Such a dumb hat.
In the Golden Age comics, he can only run the speed of sound.
Mhm.
But then you get Silver Age comics, and the Flashes just get faster. As long as they're like in their prime, in their like late 20s ish,
Yeah.
they can run easily faster than Superman can. But because this is an early version of the Flash, he may not be as fast as he will be
Okay.
later in life. So Superman may be able to beat him, but probably not later.
Okay.
Yeah, especially if they're planning on doing Flashpoint, which is a can of worms we're not going to open
Ah,
because there's some.
That's such a bad idea. I don't want him to do it.
Yeah, essentially that's the.
That's all that is. It's a bad
Essentially.
idea.
But, yeah, if they're going to do that, then he's going to get faster.
Oh yeah.
Oh, he'd have to, yeah.
Yeah, but I think you're right. I think that Superman probably beats him.
So,
Buy brunch for everybody.
yeah.
I thought that's a thing that I would have brought up in the Flash conversation if it was a little bit longer. Potentially, is that the brunch conversation was a little bit too long. Like, I mean, Barry's supposed to be smart, and brunch is not that confusing.
I mean, I don't think it was necessarily that brunch was confusing. It's just that it's supposed to show us that the world to Barry Allen is slow. Is just real slow.
Yeah, but I mean, the
He
point.
moves fast. Brunch moves slow to normal people.
But the point of brunch is that you get both breakfast and lunch foods together. On
But
Wow,
you
he
don't-
didn't know that.
You have to wait so long for it, though.
I mean,
that's the point. That's the.
I mean, like
mean,
Brunch is
getting
dumb.
dinner.
I agree.
I mean, it's just as
I
long.
don't like brunch.
I don't know if you've ever had to wait in line for a restaurant to get you dinner, but you have to wait in line for a restaurant to get you brunch.
Okay.
I think that's the
I guess
significance of it.
I've also never had that.
Oh, you never gone to Pike's Landing or anything? You gotten the brunch?
I mean, I have.
let me tell you what I do. I don't eat breakfast, and I
What if you don't eat either? What's the deal with that?
I don't know. Like
I mean, Justin's just the embodiment of death. I think if he was like a DC Comics character, he'd be like the Flash, but he'd be the Black Racer.
Oh, the Black Racer.
Yeah.
I wonder if we'll see that in a movie. If we'll see a Black Racer.
I mean, maybe if like he comes close to death, he has to outrun death.
So so that's not the same as the Black Flash from the TV show, right?
It's close.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
they-
it's not-
Hey,
they're
I'm
called
only
the
on
same
season
thing,
2. I've
but
only
they
been
aren't
watching
the
this
same
since
thing.
Saturday.
Okay.
And for
It's not a big spoiler.
Okay.
People who are listening who may not know,
tread.
So there is death in the DC universe. There is a living embodiment of death. One of the endless. Blow past that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just like death in Marvel, there's just a concept of death, a personification. But she can be outrun by speedsters. And so death created a special kind of death to catch up with speedsters called the Black Racer.
Okay.
And so that's what the Black Racer is, death for a speedster.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Just a little split of herself.
Yeah. So that's something, I guess.
Yeah.
It
So
can
she
also
just, like,
still be outrun.
She just like cut off her foot and like tossed it in the Speed Force. And
No,
was
it's
like,
just
run.
it's just a different kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, she created it, but it's not like she had to like actually take a piece of her. You know, she's a concept.
Yeah.
She's a living concept of dead things.
Like part of it is that like when you die, death appears to like kind of shuttle you along to the afterlife.
Yeah.
And that's just what she appears as for speedsters.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, gotcha.
It's not a separate thing.
Okay.
So what if the speedster's like about to die of old age and she shows up and he's like, oh no!
You can still run.
I don't know if they'd be able to run.
Jay
Fast
Garrett
enough.
runs with a bad knee.
Sally, grab the jello.
Okay.
We gotta go. We gotta go.
I mean, like, okay, so brief tangent on the Endless. I read, like, you know,
Sorry, tangent on a tangent.
I've been reading Sandman for a while, and there was a time when there was a guy in New York who was dying, and it showed death, you know, like, kind of, you know, going to him, and, you know, she like, talked to him for a while, so it's not like it's, like, instant, like, okay, poof, you're dead, you can see me, you know. It's more like, you know, nobody really understands him in the moment while he's still in that, like, am I alive, am I dead moment.
So, for the audience who might not know who Sandman is, what I know of him is he's part of the Justice Society, right? Like the Justice League before Justice
No,
League?
okay, that was an older version of the Sandman.
Okay.
Basically, that Sandman had powder that could make people fall asleep.
Okay.
And I think it turned out that was accidentally stolen. It was one of the Sandman that I'm talking about's tools.
Sandman,
Okay.
also known as Dream, another one of the
Yeah.
endless.
Also known as Morpheus.
Oh, Morpheus.
Yeah.
Not from the Matrix.
Not from the
I know where you're going with it, and I want to stop you there.
He's not from the Matrix. But he, like, you know, if he were to have a human name, that's kind of what it would be.
Okay.
So yeah, basically he controls the dream,
Scape,
sphere.
Dream,
Dreamscape.
Land, whatever you want to call
Yeah.
it.
Okay.
Yeah,
So-
and also during the night, I guess he has also the nightmare realm.
Is he? So are the Endless kind of like the Four Horsemen?
No, the Four Horsemen are a different thing.
So they're like concepts that transcend gods, and so they have death, dream,
They're all D's. There's desire.
desire.
I'm looking it up. Pull for time.
There's one that doesn't start with D.
I thought they all did.
There's delirium.
Okay, so there are more than four.
Yeah,
There's
there's more than
6
4.
or 7.
Yeah.
I think.
Okay.
But yeah, so
Okay.
that's kind of where they come from, and like before, for more people who may have tuned into last episode, in the span of the DC multiverse, they transcend the multiverse and even the dark multiverse.
Does that mean that on every Earth it's the same
Yes.
person?
Yes. Okay.
I mean, same.
So I'm starting to understand.
So
that.
there are 7.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Destiny, death, dream, destruction, desire, despair, and delirium.
Oh, they do all start with D's.
Hey, listen.
Huh. I mean, okay, I think that, like, delirium, which is, like, the newest one, it used to be, like, something else, though. Like, it like, something happened, and it, like, went through, like, a concept change. Like, which is, like identity crisis kind of thing, but not the story identity crisis.
Yeah, gotcha.